Welcome to Gulfstream today. I'm Ron Nicoletti here with Katie Stazak, and welcome to Gulfstream Park. And you see up there we have a good main track, a good turf course. Hi, Katie. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How about you, Ron?
We're doing good. Got a little news for you right here in the beginning. We got the Rainbow Six hit yesterday. $49,000. It's only 20 cents wager, but we're guaranteeing the jackpot again today. It starts in race 6. The last 6 races on the card ends in race 11, and it's been hit, I don't know how many times, Katie, in the last 4 or 5 weeks. It seems like at least 3 or 4 times.
Well, this bet wasn't hit for so long. We had such an enormous carryover that we had, and now we're just making up for all of that lost time.
And to add to the excitement today, we have a carryover in the pick 5 of $10,683. The last 5 races of the card, and every time there's a carryover, this particular bet takes a lot of money. I guarantee there'll be almost $100,000 in that pool. It's a good wager. Once again, we got a good main track, good and served course. But before we get to today's analysis, you know, the Florida Sire Stakes is now going strong. We had our first 2 winners last Saturday, and we want to show you the winners of both the Desert Vixen and the Dr. Fagan. We'll start it off with the Desert Vixen here. And one word you're going to have to remember as you see these races, this horse closing is the number 4, Leap Year Luck. Just comes flying in the stretch and draws off an impressive fashion and wins it at by about 4.5 lengths in this race, Katie. But the word that I want everybody to mention in here is Gold. Stanley Gold, 1-2 in the Desert Vixen with his longer price here. That was the number 4, Leap Year Luck, winning that race.
I remember talking to Mr. Gold, Stanley, right after that race, and he said that, you know, he was thrilled with Leap Year Luck's win, but he was 1-2 in that race, and he was also equally disappointed in Standard Deal, who was second in that race. He completely owns this Florida Sire Stakes series.
Well, let's go to the Dr. Fagan, which was our 10th race on the card last Saturday. And this was another horse you see on the lead here, the favorite, number 8, Sing Praises.
What a horse. I mean, this horse was very impressive in the start. Before that, he got his first stakes win, comes right back and wins the Dr. Fagan here very impressively, was on the lead throughout with rider Ramsey Zimmerman. And remember that word we just mentioned, Gold? This horse also from the Stanley Gold Barn. And with this win, Gold tied Frank Gomez for the most Florida Sire Stakes wins in the program's history. That's 14 wins, 14 Florida Sire Stakes wins for Stanley Gold as a trainer. A very, very nice accomplishment for him.
And the horse that's finished second in that race was, of course, trained by
Gold?
Stanley Gold. So he had the exacta in both legs of. And don't forget, this is just the first leg of the Florida Sire Stakes series. It goes to on September 7th. We have the 7 furlong, the Susan's Girl, and the Infirm. I'm guaranteed you're going to see both those horses in that thing. And then once again, mark that down. It'll be September 7th. They stretch from 6 furlongs to 7 furlongs. Now we'll start with today's card. Our first race, a 1-mile claim at 3 and up. Non-winners of a race since February 14th. $6,250. The claiming tag, scratch the 5, Cactus Kid. Right now on the inside, the number 1, Morality, is favored. How'd you see it?
I went with the 6, Temecula Creek, and honestly, I think it would be an insult to Temecula Creek if I did not pick this horse. On paper, he is just has so many accolades. He's a stakes winner, graded stakes place. He was 4th in the Grade 1 Vosburg at one time, has almost $600,000 in lifetime earnings. This is like somebody with a PhD going and taking a class with a bunch of undergraduate freshmen to me. And he's, you know, he's not the same horse as he was several years ago, but he still knows how to run and can run when he wants to. I had to put him on top of my ticket.
Yeah, and he's trained by Gustavo Delgado, who likes to be called Estrella, or the Star, or he calls everybody the Star in there. So Gustavo Delgado just having a fantastic meeting. Morality, a logical choice, and I'll tell you why. 2 words. Peter Walder. He does an excellent job here, and this horse really knows how when he's stretching out today. And I just think he's going to run well in that spot, too. And I think when the smoke clears, the number 6 horse, Temecula Creek, is going to be a lot closer in the odds to the 1, Morality.
I'm in complete agreement.
let's go to the second race today, and that's our first turf race of the afternoon. And at the top of the show, we told you both the main track and the turf starting the day listed as good, but you always got to pay attention to the track condition at Gulfstream Park. It's very warm here in the summer, as you know. Oh, gee, bye, we're in Florida. But the track dries out pretty quick, so they'll be upgraded a little later on if we don't get any rain today. The second race, 1 mile on the turf, maiden 2-year-olds. Love the name of this horse. We both put him on top. Nutty Funny.
Nutty Funny. I really like this colt, and again, we're now getting more into our 2-year-old races, so more exciting young horses to watch. This one's making his 3rd career start, but he's stretching out to a mile from 5 furlongs. His first 2 starts were really encouraging for me. They were 2 4th-place efforts, but they were both on the turf course. I think he will like the added distance. He's the most experienced grass runner in this field, and that's why I put him on top. Also, the bloodlines. He's by Johar, who we all know won the Breeders' Cup Turf in 2003, and his progeny seem to be best suited for grass as well. His son, Positive Side, was just 3rd in the Twin Spires Turf Sprint Stakes in May.
Yeah, I'm in total agreement with the thinking the horse will get to that in real estate today. Royal Grant, we both have in 2nd, giving the turf a try. Broke from the rail, closed along the outside, finished 3rd. That was on the dirt. But the horse I have some interest in, we have 2 different horses. In the 3rd spot is the 10. I love the name of this one, too, iPhone Addiction. Who doesn't have that? This one is the son of Big Brown, out of Successful Appeal Mare, Successful Sarah, bred on both sides to like the turf. 11 workouts showing, bred really good for the turf, and you get Edgar Zayas in the saddle.
I really also like the Big Mystery, the 6 horse. This is a first-time starter from the Antonio Sano barn. He's by Warrior's Reward, and Warrior's Reward recently became the top #1 freshman sire of stakes horses in the nation. So Warrior's Reward really a sire to look out for in track as he gets further into his stud career. This horse has had 7 debut maiden special weight winners already this year. That's an incredible statistic, especially for a freshman sire.
We're going to change your name to Katie Stats. We're going to call it from now on. Let's go back to the main track for the 3rd race. 6 furlong claimers, fillies and mares, 3 and up, non-winners of 2 races in life, $6,250. Hey, we don't have the same horse on top. I went with the 3 in here. I'll tell you about one in a minute, but let's go to Katie and see why she liked the number 4, Jalise.
Jalise is from the Joseph Cannonese barn, and she's coming off a really nice 2-length win here against $12,500 claimers. That was on July 27th, and that win came right after posting the bullet work for 3 furlongs the week before. I just think she's in really good form right now. That, plus the slight drop down in class for her, I think that gives her an edge, and that's what earned her the top spot on my ticket.
I did go with the number 3, Indy Civil Bull, and this one should respond favorably to the inside draw today, breaking from post 3 after breaking from post 11 in its last race, rallying 5 wide to finish 3rd at this level of distance, and I certainly think her biggest challenge is going to come from Jalise. So on top, and we both had the 9 somewhere in there. This key home is stepping up to face winners after that maiden win.
Yeah, and that was a really game win. That was a hard-fought nose victory in an $8,000 claimer on July 24th, and that was her 2nd solid effort in a row. The start prior, she was 2nd also at the $8,000 level. I think 7 furlongs is her best distance, but still I think she's a top contender today.
When we go to the 4th race, we will be racing at 6 furlongs. These are maiden claimants, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds, and up $8,000. We want to go back and show you the performance. I think it was on April 7 of Caitlin's Prayer. We had a little trouble at the gate, but responded well.
I was really impressed by this effort from Caitlin's Prayer. You're going to watch her here. Breaks very, very slowly. It costs her so much ground, but you're going to see her make that up. Another thing to note, in this field, this was her first start. She was the only first-time starter in that field. That says a lot to me, and she ends up closing from 10 lengths back to finish 2nd by a length. She's also stuck down on the rail. I think if she were maybe on the outside, she could have gotten a little bit of a better run. But I was very encouraged by this effort, and because of that, I had to put her on top of my ticket today.
Yeah, I'm in total agreement. And it's tough for a first-time starter to recover from trouble at the start and then close along the inside and get beat only a length in there. Both have it on top of our ticket, trained by Gustavo Delgado. And we both had the 3, Cowgirl Marianne, turning back to 6 furlongs today, getting carried out in the stretch, still managing to finish 3rd in that race, beating a length as the favorite. That was going 7/8 of a mile, so I had some trouble. Ran pretty good.
Those 2 are the clear two top choices for me in this race.
We're going to go to the 5th race. This one, 1 mile and 1/16 on the turf. These are maiden claimers, 3-year-olds and up, $25,000. Scratch the number 2, Bowana Lover. I went with the 10, Leaves of Grass, and so did you. We're in total agreement almost today, except for one race so far.
We're just on the same page today, but I think this spot is just absolutely perfect for Leaves of Grass. This gelding is moving down to the claiming level. He was a little bit unsuccessful in maiden special weight company last time out on August 3rd, but that was his first start off a 2-month layoff, so the odds were against him to begin with. The start prior to that, he was second, beaten just a neck in a $20,000 maiden claimant event at this distance. I think between the level of competition, the distance, and his current fitness level, I think he's a lot fitter now. He's going to be the horse to beat, at least on paper for me.
We both have the number 8, MJ's Parade, in second. Now under the care of trainer Michael Petro, who's taken over training for the Frank Calabrese barn. And I went with the number 1, Bronco, Joe, and Jimmy in third. Claiming tag sliced in half, but more importantly, Kirk Zadie, he's really good with maidens making their second start. He's got our leading rider, Edgard Zayas, in the saddle. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll look at the rest of the Saturday card. We'll be back in about 30 seconds, I guess, something like that.
This is a moment of history.
Treat yourself like royalty when wagering on the Sport of Kings with ExpressBet. ExpressBet is the legal, fast, and secure way to bet on over 300 tracks around the world. No other website offers you greater value with 100% free wagering, past performances, video replays, and daily picks. Sign up today to receive a bonus and start earning points with XP Rewards. Earn even more when you refer your friends. It's the most rewarding experience in racing. ExpressBet, your way to play.
Ocala Breeder Sales Company presents 2 important events on the 2014 sales calendar. Next, the OBS August Sale, featuring selected yearlings Tuesday, August 26th, and open yearlings Wednesday and Thursday, August 27th and 28th. Followed by the OBS Fall Mix Sale, with a preferred session Tuesday, October 14th, and open sessions October 15th and 16th. OBS, we measure success by performance.
And welcome back. Our 6th race of the afternoon is 6.5 furlong sprint. These are maiden 3-year-olds and upward. And boy, I got to go first here because I got my best bet in here, and I'll tell you why. And that's for Montana Cowboy. This one now in the Marty Wilson barn. It's a $110,000 son of Grand Slam. He stretches out to 6.5 furlongs. First start since finishing second behind a very impressive winner called Fast Anna. But that's just the first part of the story. The other part of the story, 4 other horses in that race have come back to win their next start. This is a monster key race. 5 horses in this race come back to win their next starts, and that's me all over the place. You know me with my key races. So number 4, Montana Cowboy on top of the ticket. With that said, the number 6, Back to Seattle, is absolutely the one to beat.
Talk about, you know, coming out of a last start and being second to a good horse. You mentioned Fast Anna, who's going to be running in the King's Bishop next week. How about Atreides, who has been super impressive in his 2 starts here? Back to Seattle was second to Atreides. Atreides that day earned a 105 buyer in his career debut. Back to Seattle was given a 91 buyer. That's very impressive. This horse has posted 2 straight bullet works leading up to this start. There's no Atreides, there's no Fast Anna in this horse, in this field today. Back to Seattle also gets leading rider Edgard Zayas in the irons. I was all in on Back to Seattle in this race.
Okay, let's go to the 7th race. It's a 1-mile turf event. Maiden claimers 3-year-olds and up, $16,000. Scratch the 4 Gold Primpy, and I don't know if the 13 is out yet, but I think it is in that race. Oh, yes, it is, because number 14, Frady, gets in the race, and we both have, I have 2, 5, and 14. You have 5, 1, and 14. Tell me why.
I liked Mesa Way, this 3-year-old gelding, in this race because he's the horse with the most turf experience. 11 of his 12 lifetime starts have been on the grass. He dropped down to the $12,500 level last time out and was second, beaten just a length and a quarter. And he was really just caught at the end that day. And that race was at 1 1/16. He's going to be cutting back to 1 mile today. I think that's really going to help him.
We'll turn the page and go to our 8th race of the afternoon. 5 furlongs, maiden filly 2-year-olds. We got some great 2-year-olds running here now, and with the Florida Sire Stakes Series here, hard to say, at Gulfstream Park. Certainly a lot of fun watching these 2-year-old runs. Scratch the horse with experience in here, number 12, Sakar, and I had the number 11. I scratched into number 11, R. Sassy Last, but I'm telling you right now, I'm going deep in this race because I could not find a course that I really like to single and say that one might win.
The races to me are going to get harder throughout the day today. There's some really tough races at the end of this card to handicap. I went with the 1 Catskill Flyer. She was second in a $25,000 maiden claiming event in her career debut. That was on July 17th. She was beaten just a length and a half that day. She was in the 13th post position in a 5-furlong race. That is not going to help you. She made a bid while in the 4 path and still managed to hit the board, which impressed me. She was gaining at the end. She's going to save a lot more ground today because she's going to the other extreme and she's on the rail.
Yeah, it's hard not to have this. I think the number 11, R. Sassy Last, on the ticket. This is the daughter of exclusive quality, debuting for Kirk Zadie. And here's the stat on Kirk Zadie. He's 48% with his first-time starters. So had to put him somewhere on the ticket. But when you're putting your ticket together, this is the second leg of the Pick 5 and the third leg of the Rainbow Six. I'm suggesting you go a little deeper in here if you can afford it, and you usually could, because the Rainbow Six is only 20 cents and the Pick 5 is only 50 cents, so you can go a little deeper in those races. Now we're going to go to our 9th race of the afternoon. This one, 1 mile and 1/16 on turf. Claim is 3 years old and up, $12,500. Scratch 13, 14, 15, and 16. And I know you wanted to show a video in here.
I do. I want to show a video of the 2-horse Discreet Ed. This is a $12,500 claimer for non-winners of 3 other than. This was 2 starts back for Discreet Ed. He comes absolutely flying home. You're going to see him there. He's the 5-horse. He's going to be second by a neck. Just keeps gaining and gaining and gaining. He's a favorite of mine to watch because he always seems to show up. He ends up being second in this race. Still closing here, I think, with an extra 1/16 of a mile he would have gotten there, but he didn't need to because he was actually moved up to first via disqualification. This horse, last time out, took a step up to a starter allowance, and I think he was just a little bit outmatched. I'm completely throwing that out, and I think he is the best horse on paper in this race.
Well, I'm hoping Gustavo Delgado, the trainer, has a good day, because it looks like I have another one of his horses on top, and that's the 4 Tinnitus. This one, as I mentioned, now in the Gustavo Delgado barn. Gelding makes his first start since a pair of really solid turf performance against this caliber competition during May and during June. If you look at Delgado, trainer Delgado, he's at 35% with new additions to his barn, and he's also 30% with his turf runners. So playing the statistics there, and ridden today by Josie Gomez. And who's hotter than Josie Gomez? She's won like 3 or 4 or 5 races over the last couple of days. She's been riding in great form. So Tinnitus on top of my ticket, but for all the reasons you had the 2 up there, I totally agree with you. Anything else in the 9th race before we go to the 10th?
I threw in the 10 Fire Mission in there from the David Fox barn. He was a little too far back in his last start, and I just think he had too much ground to make up. I think if he lays a little closer, he'll be running at the end today.
Well, let's go to the 10th race. This one is a 1-mile event. It's an allowance optional claimer. 3-year-olds and up, $16,000. And we want to go back to a race on July 13th. It was race 9, and show you the performance of Argosy.
This was an allowance race. He's the 6-horse here, Argosy. He comes running down the stretch. He's in the 3 path, and he's going to end up 3rd by a neck. I was really impressed with this effort because he gets into a little bit. The horse in the front, Rock Alex, is a very, very nice horse that had 3 wins here in the past 3 months, and you're going to see Argosy finish just behind them with a little more room. He's still continuing to gain on them, and I watched that race, and it caused me to put him on top of my ticket today.
Me too, and I mean, he was on his way. It looks like another jump after the wire. He would have been in front, ridden by Ramsey Zimmerman today. Talking about guys that are riding in great form, Ramsey Zimmerman chasing Edgar Zayas for that top spot in the jockey standing. So Argosy on top of my ticket. I used the 5, Tiz Marvelous in second. This one is making the 3rd start back from an extended layoff with blinkers added. Following its 6.5 maiden score, that was back on June 28th with a wide wide trip at this level and distance. Marty Wilson, he's 25%. It's a limited sampling with horses wearing blinkers for the first time, but boy, I respect that barn, and any move that they make, you sort of got to pay attention to it. So number 5 in there on my ticket, and we both had the number 7, Pecky's Boy.
You mentioned it earlier, but Peter Walder, talk about statistics. This horse, Pecky's Boy, is making his first start off the claim for trainer Peter Walder. That is dangerous. Walder is 25% with horses running for him first off the claim, 25% with horses trying blinkers for the first time, and he wins at a 46% clip with horses going from turf to dirt. Pecky's Boy fits all of that criteria today, so I would not suggest leaving him off of your ticket.
Well, let's go to our final race on the card, and certainly not the least. We got simulcasting from Saratoga, Del Mar, lots of things going on. The Arlington Million today. A little later on, you can do all of that at Gulfstream Park. This 11th race, 6 furlongs. Claim is 3 and up, $6,250. Scratch the 7, happy runner. Oh no, I got Gustavo Delgado on top of my ticket. At least you do too, and that's the 6, Van Citra.
This one, first of all, we're ending the day with a very, very competitive, wide-open 13-horse field. The numbers, we continue to have huge entries here at Gulfstream. And I liked Van Citra. This one's coming off a very game 2.5-length win at the $12,500 level. This horse looked like he was completely done in his last race. I said, oh, he's done. But he actually, after giving up the lead, came back and went on to win by 2.5 lengths. That was on April 20th, so he hasn't raced in over 3 months. But I'm putting this horse on top because I think he's the class of the field. He's run for a lot more money than he'll be running for today. And like you mentioned, he's making his first start for trainer Gustavo Delgado.
The number 2 horse, Sir Edgar, will drop to the $6,250 level. He showed early tactical speed before yielding late. That was a pair of sprints. It was at the $12,500 level. Kirk Zadie is the trainer. He's got the apprentice Jean Villanueva in the saddle. And I just think if this horse can get out there early from that inside post position, may be able to steal the nightcap. And as you mentioned, a full field of 14 runners. What a way to end the day. Anybody else you want to give him? Because at this point, if you're alive in the Rainbow Six, your knees are knocking.
Yeah, you got to be all in at this point. I also like the 11 Holden Bullets, a very consistent gelding who's racked up 4 wins in 8 placings and 12 starts here at Gulfstream. He has 2 wins in his last 5 starts, and he's coming off a 2nd place effort at this level on July 19th. He was 5 wide that day, and I really think it cost him some ground, so I see him moving forward today.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun day of racing at Gulfstream Park. Good main track, good turf course. Any parting words? You want to give us a selection and then one of those races at Arlington or Saratoga?
I'm really excited about the Beverly D today, maybe more so than I am about the Arlington Million. I'm really liking Stephanie's Kitten. What a race she ran in her last start. Impressed me very, very much. So I'll be watching her today, but a lot of great racing all over the country, including here in our beautiful weather at Gulfstream Park. Good luck today, everybody.
Good luck.